Hey, I am actually here this time. I am so sorry. Last week I scheduled and did not make it. My word, what is wrong with me? What the heck? I have difficulty every time with that app. Why do I even mess with it? There we go. Flip. Here we are. Okay. We are on schedule. In fact, I'm a little early. Ha. So those of you who are regulars, I apologize so profusely for missing. I normally I do this on Friday at 5:00, which is the time now. And last week I had a gig, so I thought, well, no problem. I'll just schedule it for Saturday at 5:00, and I posted it saying the live will be tomorrow at 5, and had little memes made up so that people knew that, and scheduled it on StreamYard to come Saturday. As we, had the gig went well, kind of on the high of that, and running errands and doing a normal Saturday stuff. Completely 100% forgot that I had scheduled a live. I admit it. When I mess up like that, I admit it. And I got a message from Randy. Randy, who's always on. Thank you, Randy. You're always on my lives. And you said, did I miss the live? And I'm like, immediately I remembered. So I don't know. I think I did that one other time. Schedule it for a Saturday and completely blew it off. There's something about getting into a routine and having certain things happen on certain days at certain times and getting accustomed to that. Even if I put it on my calendar, it's still, I don't know. I need a personal assistant, someone who says, Tim, you have to be here at this point in time. Do you remember that? Of course I remember that, but I wouldn't, so anyhow, that's what's going on with me. I had my gig last Friday, a week ago, at the Cobra in Nashville. It went well, and the band was amazing. And I have a new member of the band, Madeline, sang backup, and she's just absolutely amazing. And so was Christian and Maho, the drummer and bass player. So we had a great time, a lot of fun. And my buddy Jimmy Davis was there, and he played on stage. He played a solo acoustic, and that was amazing. So that's kind of what the news was last this week, and just plodding forward, getting ready for the fall. The colors are changing, and that cold weather is coming in, a little cooler, although it's still warm in Nashville. But I love that. My favorite season is the fall. I love all the colors and the crunchiness in the air, and I don't like winter, but I love fall. And also, I used to farm. I was a farmer. I grew up on a farm, and of course, fall is when you harvest. Typically, you plant in the spring, harvest in the fall, when you're growing corn and soybeans and wheat. Of course, wheat you harvest in the middle of the summer, but corn and soybeans is in the fall. So, and that's when you reap the benefits of all your labor. So fall, autumn is really got a lot, happening. Thanksgiving happens. In fact, I'm hoping to get it done. I got to re-record the parts and send it to my producer, but I wrote a Thanksgiving song. There's a lot of Christmas songs, but is there such a thing? Do people release Thanksgiving songs? Well, I wrote one, and did my own production on it, and my producer Kenny does so much better job, so I need to redo the vocals and send it to him. But I'm hoping to release my Thanksgiving song the week before Thanksgiving. And then I'll have a Black Friday sale. So a lot going on around Thanksgiving, Black Friday. I'm getting ramping up. I got some really cool things that are going to be available for those of you who follow me, and they'll have a possibility to participate in the Black Friday dealings that I got going on. So I'm working on that, and I'm pretty excited about some of the stuff that we're working on. And so a lot going on. I'm continuing to release a song every 2 weeks. And the last song to drop was Stephanie. Stephanie, gotta get next to you, baby. And you can stream that on your favorite streaming channel. Dropped last Friday. And pretty excited about it. It's a bit different than a lot of my normal stuff, but a little more R&B, a little bit neo soul, but good to stretch out and do things a little differently. There's no guitar in sight on it. It's bass and keyboards, basically, and drums. So that's that. The next song to be coming out next Friday, a week from today, will be Curse of the Silent Muse, which is kind of a lounge jazz song, if you will. I'm excited about that. I wrote that song a few years ago, but never officially released a version. I've had it in my live set for a while, but I've never actually recorded and released a version. So this will be the first official release of Curse of the Silent Muse. And it's a song about writer's block. And I've never really suffered from writer's block, actually. I have so many. I guess if writer's block is finishing a song, Rick Rubin, he's kind of he's kind of, what would you say? He's the kind of guy that, seems to be like a seer or a sage, kind of really into the mystical side of things. Not the mystical, but not the mechanics. He doesn't even play an instrument. He doesn't even know how to move a fader on a mixing board, but he's all about the mental and the mindset where he excels. I mean, he's been involved with many, many great records, but don't expect him to get in the studio and talk about technical stuff about, well, I think we need a little bit plus 1 dB on the vocals in that chorus. That's not his department. Anyway, he wrote a book, a wonderful book, and I read it while I was in Europe. And anyone who's in creative or wants to be in creative, I don't remember the name of it, but it's Rick Rubin's book, The Way of Art or something like that. I should know the name, but Rick Rubin kind of looks like, big white beard, because his beard is white now, long hair, white beard. And anyway, he talks about the 4 steps of writing any art. And it's SECC, because I remember the acronym. So it starts with a seed, which is an idea. And in songwriting, a seed would be like the title of the song or the hook of the song. Usually the hook is the title. Typically it's the strongest line. Typically, I mean, although now they're saying a great song has hooks throughout the song, things that grabs your attention, hooks you in. You should have a hook. The first line should be a hook. The first line of the first verse, if you start with the first verse, should have it be a hook. And also you should have a lot of hooks in the song, but generally speaking, the hook, the strongest part, the meat of the song, is the main line. And often you have the first line of the chorus, and maybe the last line of the chorus, often repeated, is the hook. And so often, at least for me, my songs usually start with a hook, with a title, with a line that will end up being the chorus. Although I've written songs where the first verse came to me and then I had to write a chorus around it. I have written actually a number of songs that way, where I had the first verse and then wrote the chorus. But anyway, the seed. So I have many, 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 many seeds, song ideas, a phrase or a chorus, melody with words, or some of them are just guitar rhythms, guitar chords, and that's a starting point. And then the next part is E, which I think stood for exploration. I know it stood for E. So where you explore that idea and build it out. And then the next step is craftsmanship, where you start to form it, and where you make it into a form that you actually fits into as a song, not just some meandering idea. Crafting is where you get to work. And then completion. Just put all the finishing touches on it. And for me, I love the first two parts, the S and the E, the experimentation, the seed, and the crafting is where you actually have to work. And it's kind of boring. It's so much more interesting to go and start with a new idea and get another seed. And so I have so many seeds and in different phases, maybe the first or second stage of that. And getting them to the last two C's, crafting and completion, is where I need help sometimes. And I have my buddy, Jimmy, I asked him, do you mind being like a middle reliever, using a baseball term? And there are some writers who don't want to come into a song that's already started. I mean, there are writers who say, don't bring me in on a song. I want to be involved with the song from the beginning. But there are writers who, are really strong with a bridge. Often a bridge is written later. You don't usually start a song with writing the bridge, because the bridge is what ties the song together. Anyhow, there are people who are willing to come in, and there's also a phrase called the curse of the second verse, where you have a verse chorus, but you don't have a second verse, and you struggle to write a second verse. So I guess that could be writer's block. But I have lots of seeds, maybe a verse, maybe a chorus, maybe a verse chorus, but I haven't completed the song. So is that writer's block? Maybe that is writer's block. But the curse of the second verse is a term. And so if you can have someone come in and add in a second verse and kind of be a middle reliever, the game's already started, the starting pitcher's already got things going, and then you need to, or maybe the closer. Maybe you come in and you close it, and you do that last part. You write a bridge for it. There are people who are songwriters who are famous or have a reputation, not famous, have a reputation among songwriters of being a great bridge writer. Come in, I'll write a bridge for you. Of course, they get equal share. Generally, the Nashville rule is if you're in the room or you contribute, you get an equal share. Now, in LA, they do a little different. I think they parse it out a little bit more specifically. Well, you get less than this. But in Nashville, to save any arguing, if you're involved, if you're in the room, you help write the song, you get an equal share. So if there are 2 people, you get a half. If there are 3 people, you get a third. 4 people, you get 1/4, and so on and so on. So that's the Nashville way. But I think in LA, it's a little bit different. Like if you start with a beat, often you start with a beat, which is a rhythm track, and that's 50% of the song right out of the gate. And that might have some samples in it from other songs. Funkadelic. There's so many songs. If you're familiar with Funkadelic from the 70s, Bootsy Collins and that all the Parliament, there's so many songs that sample from those songs, from those projects, Funkadelic, and probably Sly and the Family Stone, the stuff from that. And so they get a part. And here's an interesting one for me. Is if you're familiar with Ariana Grande in 7 Rings, the melody in the first part of it is from My Favorite Things, which is from Sound of Music. Is that the musical? Rodgers and Hammerstein wrote that song, My Favorite Things. Dun 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 dun. Okay, so Ariana Grande just used the melody from that, and then she went on to a different melody. So you could say she didn't use the lyrics. So you could argue and say, well, what percent is the Rodgers and Hammerstein? Probably less than 50%, because she didn't use any of their lyrics, and she wrote other melodies for the later part of the song. But no, Rodgers and Hammerstein. Of course, they're gone now. It's their estate or their managed publishing firm. They got 90% ownership of the songwriting of that song. And before they put it out, Ariana Grande had always written it and was getting ready to put it out. And her management said, "We better get permission from Rodgers and Hammerstein, executor of the state or the publishing company that controls that." And they said, "Okay, yeah, we'll give you permission, but we need 90% ownership of the songwriting of the song." Because obviously there's the most famous part. Even Ariana Grande is very famous, yes, but that is iconic. I mean, The Sound of Music, how old is that? I mean, that's got to be 50, 60 years old. Rodgers and Hammerstein, My Favorite Things. And it's iconic. And it makes, so they were able to demand, okay, if you don't give us 90%, you can't put the song on. We don't care. We don't need it. So Ariana Grande, as great as she is and great artist that she is and amazing vocalist, she said, I guess, I mean, this is, I don't know her, of course. I mean, I just, what I've read, she didn't really care. Like, whatever, I want to put the song out. So good for you. You know, give the writers their due. So songwriting. Anyway, so the song that's coming out, I've got on that subject, that song that's coming out is Curse of the Silent Muse. And I don't really, and I did it kind of as a tongue-in-cheek thing. Man, maybe I start with that. Got a few trying to finish. Got a bunch been trying to start. They say nothing worthwhile comes easy. It's all grit and grind, and it's hard. Hopefully, can keep at it. Maybe you'll have pity on me if you're out there listening. Please stop and hear my plea. Your silence is my muse is maddening. Blank white pages staring back at me. Give me a wing, give me a nod. Show me that you're still on the job. Nothing comes no matter how hard I try. Did I somehow offend you, make you cry? Please come back, need you badly. Don't curse me with the silence of the muse. Where do you go when you leave? Where do you spend all your time? You know you're always welcome. I'd love to have you by my side. What can I do to make you stay? You know I'm no good without you. Wish you'd be mine forever. Think of all that we could do. Your silence as my muse is maddening. Blank white pages stare back at me. Give me a wing, give me a nod. Show me that you're still on the job. Nothing comes no matter how hard I try. Did I somehow offend you, make you cry? Please come back, need you badly. Don't curse me with the silence of the muse. Silence of the Muse, coming out 1 week from today, full band version. So here's an old song that Clapton used to do. It's called Running on Faith. Lately I've been running on faith. What else can a poor boy do? But my world will be right when love comes over. Lately I've been talking in my sleep. Can't imagine what I have to say, except my world would be right when love comes back your way. I've always been one to take each and every day. It seems like by now I'd find a love who cares just for me. We'd go running on faith. All of our dreams would come true, and our world would be right. Love comes over me and you. We'd go running on faith. All of our dreams would come true, and our world would be right. Love comes over me with you. Love comes over me for you. Love comes over me for you. Running on faith. Clapton didn't write that. Clapton didn't write many songs. He wrote, of course, some big ones, Tears from Heaven and Layla. But many of his songs, more than 50% of the songs that he recorded were covers. And this was written by, I need to put it on my iPad, last name Williams. I can't remember his first name. And he wrote for a while there, he wrote for a couple albums. He wrote the majority of the album for Clapton. Of course, he also did a lot of covers of the guy that had Collins. What was his name? He did After Midnight, and now I'm a guy from Oklahoma. Now I'm having trouble remembering his exact name. He died, and then Clapton did a tribute to him. He wrote a bunch of the Clapton songs on as well. So Clapton would find a writer that he liked. J.J. Cale. I knew it would come to me. J.J. Cale. I knew his initials in the beginning. You know, he's great musicians that just use initials. G.E. Smith. I don't know how many people know who he is. Was a great guitar player. I don't know if he's still alive. But he used to be the music director on, I think, the Tonight Show. So using no, it's not J.J. Cale. That was I'll have to think about that. I may have to come next time with the answer to that. Okay, well, what else we got? Let's see. It's a song I wrote with some other Nashville writers. Spare me the talk about the chocolates and the valentines. That warm buzz feeling when a kiss is like a glass of wine. You both got a song you love singing. The phone never stops ringing. I don't talk about love that way. Don't conversate about it, so don't pick it apart. Don't talk about love that way, 'cause love went and broke my heart. Yeah, yeah, it broke my heart. People walking around wearing rose-colored glasses don't see themselves crying 'cause they're too busy laughing. They carry on about forever, and me, I'm kinda like whatever. I don't talk about love that way. Don't conversate about it, so don't pick it apart. Don't talk about love that way, 'cause love went and broke my heart. Yeah, yeah, it broke my heart. Let's talk about love. Let's talk about love. Here's Halfway to Amarillo. I read the note she wrote, and red lipstick on the mirror. Now I'm gazing out the window, wishing I was anywhere but here, crying on my pillow. Lord, please help me this time. She's halfway to Amarillo. I'm halfway out of my mind. The stereo's blasting from the room below. That lonesome still makes me wanna dance real tight and slow. She's not here and I'm alone. She said ain't no here, it's not to her. Oh, I'm crying on my pillow. Lord, please help me this time. She's halfway to Amarillo. I'm halfway out of my mind. My, they're weary, it feels like I'm getting older. Dreams are fading, now I'm all alone. No place to go, crying on my pillow. Lord, please help me this time. She's halfway to Amarillo. I'm halfway out of my mind. Some of you may have heard the story behind that song. I mean, I wrote that song probably around 12 years ago or so. And I mean, I wasn't writing a lot of songs, so it was one of the first songs that I've written. Well, I wrote a song when I was, in my 20s, but that wasn't a very good song. Michelle, you're so fine, like a fine Italian wine. Not very good writing, but that was probably the first song I wrote. And maybe I should dig that up one day. See if I can find the original versions of that. Anyway, so I wrote this song. We're writing songs, and I had a friend that I was writing songs with, and he dissed the song. Songwriters, you get competitive. You have friends that you're competitive with, right? We were competitive on the songwriting, and he would often diss my songs. And he said, that's a bad rhyme. Amarillo, pillow. You don't want to make that song. That's a bad rhyme. So I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not a good songwriter. So I put it aside and sat on my hard drive. I had a demo of it. Actually, the origination came from a friend in December after school was over. A friend of mine on Facebook, their son was driving back from college at the end of probably mid-December on the way for Christmas break. And they were from Missouri to South Dakota, and they got stuck in a traffic jam. And they posted, we could be halfway to Amarillo by now. And if you know your geography, Amarillo, Texas is in West Texas, and you would never go to West Texas to get from Missouri to South Dakota. I just thought maybe he was making a joke. I don't know. But anyway, it struck with me. I said, halfway to Amarillo, that could be a great name to a song. And so I wrote the entire song from that. But then my friend said the rhyme was bad. And then when I was doing my first full-length album in 2022, I happened to be listening to the radio, and Old Crow Medicine Show has a song called Sweet Amarillo. And guess what they rhymed with Amarillo? Pillow. In the chorus even, not just a casual verse buried in a verse or a bridge somewhere. It was in the chorus. It was repeated. And I thought, doggone it, if it's good enough for Old Crow Medicine Show, it's good enough for me. So I was looking for songs to put on my album, and I collected 30 different songs that I sent out to friends and people involved with my music, and pick songs that you think I should put on the album. And doggone it, if Halfway to Amarillo didn't get picked, people liked it. It made the list. Originally, I was only going to do 10, and then I pushed it to 12, and then I went to 14 songs. That's 14 songs on the album. So it made the album. So then, okay, it's time to pick a single. And I sent all 14 songs out, and doggone it, if it didn't get picked as one of the top 4 of the album. And so some people tell me it's a favorite song of mine that I do. It's their favorite song of mine. Is that right? Did I say that right? So I appreciate that. And so I love the song. I mean, it has. I tried to do what I was going for, although I don't think I got very close to it. Was Wichita Lineman, from the '60s. That kind of existential. Glenn Campbell. He didn't write the song, but that from that era, Wichita Lineman. I was going for that kind of a vibe. That's a very kind of a sad song, iconic song. Wichita Lineman is just an amazing song. And of course, Glenn Campbell just killed it. I mean, I don't think anyone would say, well, that when I listen to Halfway to Amarillo, it makes me think Wichita Lineman. I don't think so. But a lot of my songs, even though the inspiration that I had when I wrote them, people don't hear the inspiration, but that's what, inspired me to get where I ended up with. So songwriting is so much fun. I just really enjoy it. And I appreciate those of you who listen to my songs and appreciate them, and that they maybe speak to you. That means a lot to me. So it's a huge blessing. So, well, probably about time to end this. I didn't plan out a set list for this time, so how about She Likes the Rain? And close it. She opens the window and watches the sky roll. Trouble's been coming for miles. She keeps on fighting through thunder and lightning. somehow still finds that smile. She says, for worse or for better, there's nothing I can weather. So let the storms come, hell or high water, my sun's still shining as long as I got her. She ain't the kind that goes running, clouds come her way. She likes the rain. She likes the rain. She likes the rain. She likes the rain. She stands in the drive with her hands to the sky, catches those drops on her skin. She says sometimes life hurts, but you just gotta learn to find beauty wherever you can. She says for worse or for better, there's nothing that we can't weather. So let the storms come, hell or high water, my sun's still shining as long as I got her. She ain't the kind that goes running, clouds come our way. She likes the rain. She likes the rain. She likes the rain. She likes the rain. It starts coming down and there's nowhere to hide. I thank God she's the one standing by my side. So let the storms come, hell or high water, my sun's still shining as long as I got her. She ain't the kind that goes running, clouds come her way. She likes the rain. 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 Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And please forgive me for missing last week. So embarrassed. I rescheduled it for Saturday if you're coming in late. And just spaced it. Didn't even show up. No show. No call, no show. Till I got some messages. Hey, where's the live? From some loyal fans. Embarrassment to the max. I'll try not to do that again, but I can't make a guarantee that I won't because I guess I'm absent-minded. But I appreciate you so much. Thank you for hanging with me. And if you're watching this on the replay or you're watching it live, thank you so much. And have a great weekend. And I got to shut these off. We got that one. Okay. Dee Dee, thank you. Randy, Dee Dee. Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate it. Hi, Cynthia. Thank you. Thank you, Natasha. Appreciate it very much. See you all next time.